Hello everyone, and welcome back to Dolphins and Garages, the show that puts to the test just how far you're willing to wait for the thing you spent money for. My name is Artemis, I am your DM, and most of the characters...
Pronouns?
She, her, hers.
You gotta get both of them in there, yeah.
She, her, hers. Okay, I'll go next. Hi folks, my name is Dennis, he, they. I will be playing the role of Berry Picker, Furbolg Barbarian, and he's a he, him.
I'm Bo, he, him pronouns as well. I'm playing Isham Merlagon, the fucking bugbear rogue, also he, him.
And I'm Charlie, she, her, and I play Draws, the robot who is a they, them, because robots do not need gender.
They're beyond that.
When we last left off, there was quite a horrible tragedy. We lost Berry Picker's mother in an attack by a group of mercenaries. We rejoin sort of the party as they join a funeral ceremony for Berry's mother. As you all sort of shuffle through the procession, Berry's father steps up to the... not so much a podium, it's sort of a stump that's been turned on its side, and he goes to give a bit of a speech.
I have been many things in my life. A father, a husband, a diplomat, a farmer, a picker, a fighter. But in all of the things that I have been happy to call myself hers. And it is in times like these when I have lost everything, when we have lost everything, that it feels like nothing can go on, that it feels like the spirits and the goddess have forsaken us, is when we must remember who we are. We stand in our forest, this holy, righteous place, in an ancestral and precious peace. When my dearest wife was taken from us, she stood alongside those on the opposition in order to guarantee us this peace. So we owe it to her, and we owe it to all those who have put themselves on the line now to preserve this peace, no matter the cost, because there is no better way to remember a person than to keep the things they've fought for and they've worked for alive. I thank you all for coming, for sharing your offerings. May the goddess bless you all. Go in peace.
And he shuffles off of the podium. You can see the sort of emptiness in his eyes as he very much avoids many of the interactions with others. And there's sort of this general mourning, basically, where everyone goes through this procession and they interact with the body-laden state all at once. And then as you all finish paying your respects, the body is brought to the funeral pyre, and it is cremated. The ashes are spread upon the holy roots one of the oldest trees in the forest. And you are returned to the village. Just think about your next step. To think about what went wrong and what to do next. How do you come back from this?
God damn.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I don't know, do you?
What a fun way to open up our fantasy adventure.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you complaining? I could kill another character.
No, that was fucking artful. I'm just saying,
that
like,
was amazing,
damn.
honestly. It was very good, Artemis.
Very good.
Very moving. I think it's safe to say that Barry is beside himself. He is not in any state that, he's only known Garlet and Draws for a very short amount of time. He's known Isham, slightly longer, a little bit over a year. But I think it's safe to say that Isham's never seen him like this, just quiet and reserved. He's usually a lot more, even if he's quiet, he has like a smile on his face or something, in awe with the with the outside world that he's never really experienced. But now he's just sort of quiet and reserved, sad. There's not as much life in his eyes. I'm gonna say that he's not staying close to his friends. There's a distance between him and his friends.
God, that's so sad. It's a sad big boy.
Draws, you're experiencing something that I'm not sure how a robot reacts to grief. Or even, does Draws understand that emotion?
Yeah. I mean, insofar as Draws did not exist and then did exist, Draws can understand the concept of perhaps going back to not existing, though I think it's much more of a peaceful and simple thing, because in Draws' eyes, you presumably just wake up again after that at some point. There's nothing stopping that short of the people around you making sure you do.
Pop that charger back in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Draws was built to fight a war and or something of that effect. We're not really sure, but combat. Despite what you may have seen from Draws in combat, Draws was built to do something in some sort of conflict at one point, and has programmed into them a self-preservatory understanding that, like, once the body's gone, there isn't a guarantee things keep going. It's not to the same spiritual level, but certainly understands that. Draws is definitely partially fixated on what can be done with all this new information that they have recently acquired about the nature of the attack. And I think is primarily focused on, like, trying to figure out what next steps are based on that information, because there's not much they can do here in this situation, but they know much more than the rest of the party regarding these people and who they work with, and I honestly think it's mostly focused on that.
Well, how's Isham feeling?
Isham has no capacity for, like, expressing himself honestly in any sort of emotional sense. His parents being, like, the absolute most craven of dwarven society, and, him being an adoptee to these essentially, like, heinous carnies, the Mike Liddells of the fantasy world.
It's true that parts of the Shakamian Empire are essentially just Chaska, Minnesota.
So yeah, that being the case, not the greatest emotional intelligence on this guy.
Charisma score low.
Yeah. So I think kind of his response to this, I mean, even with Barry being sad, it's not perfunctory, because that sounds like it's intentionally shitty, but he just doesn't have a good grasp of this kind of thing. So that said, as far as what he actually does, because that is what the question you asked was, yeah, I think it's like pats on the back and like, hey, hang in there, big guy, you know, not particularly soothing stuff.
Yeah,
He's trying, you know, it's effort being put forth, it's just he's not good at this.
I'm gonna roll.
Yeah, can I roll a fucking console?
Like that would be
Go ahead.
deception.
Go ahead, I'll allow it.
Yeah, which do I hit for console? What button here on D&D Beyond?
Well,
okay, are you being genuine in it, or are you being not genuine?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's him genuinely trying to help his friend feel better at this huge loss.
That's charisma then.
Just a straight up and down charisma, do you think?
Yeah, and then I'll.
I mean, I've got a +2. It's not bad.
You could do persuasion as well.
If I were a dick, it'd be deception, which I have a +6 in. Can I intimidate you into stopping grieving for your mother?
I don't know how to. I don't know how to grieve, but I do know how to lie to you to make it seem like I'm helping.
Yeah, I think straight up and down charisma, that makes sense. Yeah, all right. And that is it's a 15. That could be worse.
For insight, I rolled a 19.
Yeah,
All right. Well,
it's not buying.
Barry feels your pats on the back, and I think what's going through his mind is just sort of like wondering, kind of questioning the nature of our friendship in this moment. Just sort of been like, I kind of need a little bit more than just this, and you're not providing it.
yeah, in character, I think Isham's probably like, you know, kind of baffled like this. It's like, I said, big guy, how could he still be upset? You know, out of character, I absolutely understand. This isn't fucking doing anything for anybody.
Yeah.
Hey, big guy, this, you know, everybody goes through stuff like this.
Barry glances back at you, and you swear for like a split second you see his eyes go dark like he does when he rages.
Oh, fuck.
And then he, but then he like, it's quickly turns to being like just kind of tearful, and then he like not even a smile, no more acknowledgement other than he like looks back at you and then just sort of curls back into himself a little bit.
Aw, big guy.
I know Bo in real life. This probably wouldn't be you.
I know, it's just so sad. He's a big fucking forest critter, and he's sad. I can't deal with that shit. But
like if you saw a sad elephant and you're like,
yeah, exactly.
I don't know
like,
what to do.
Fucking we're recording this like basically shortly after the wrap up of Fat Bear Week.
Yeah.
And like seeing one of them like just sad for a reason, I'd be like, oh,
there wasn't enough. There weren't enough pumpkins for those fat bears to eat, and one of them got sad about it.
Oh, their little ears are kind of like down. Oh, it's heartbreaking. But yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of how Barry's. What's Garlet doing?
Garlet is taking this time. Garlet is frequently confused. Garlet is taking this time to sort of interact with the two new people that you've met, Patrinx and Farin, who basically trying to calm them down, keep Farin from, you know, murdering or starting a fight, and then trying to basically ask questions because they seem like the only other fighters in the area.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that he's kind of taking it upon himself to stay away because has Garlet lost people? You don't know, but I don't think he knows what it's like to lose somebody in this culture, and he's not comfortable getting into an interaction about that.
No, yeah, he's not an anthropologist.
It's true.
He's
Now, if your
strictly gun
barrel was broken or something, he could fix that.
stuff. But your heart, no.
No, I'm checking the firearms dictionary, and there's nothing here about emotional support.
No.
Draws is going to putter over to Barry, catch up a little bit. Use my little arm extensions to put my arm all the way around Barry's big shoulders. And while looking at the ground, I say, I do not know exactly what you are experiencing right now. Within me, there is an understanding, having been built for something in war at one point, whatever that may mean, that I was once not here, and then I was here, and with consistent repairs, I should continue to be here. But reversing that and combining that with the self-preservation I have within me at a base level, because I may not be able to be repaired effectively in sustained experiences in life and war. I'm not sure. I can understand the concept of not being here anymore, and I don't have any intention of pretending I can fix this or understand it sufficiently. But if and when you would like to know, I have learned a lot from the lawyer's tent you left me in about who may have done this, and a little bit more as to why. Draws reaches down and pats the little basket satchel hanging at their side. And our little friend here can always help us learn more. So when you're ready, time is of no concern for me. I do not experience it like the way you do, or sometimes at all. But I am here, and I have this information, and I do think we should act on it soon, for the sake of your mother and keeping that peace. I retract my arm a little bit and give Barry a little squeeze on the back of the neck, where the shoulder muscles seem very high and tense, and I retract my arm all the way and look up at Barry.
Barry looks down and he immediately bursts into tears.
Oh no.
Well,
He immediately just bursts into tears, and he grabs Draws
Does what?
and just gives them a big hug.
oh,
Oh.
I extend my arms around you so that my fingers are touching all the way.
Oh,
this.
there we go.
I love that the robot was more...
Yeah, the warbot is better at consoling you than fucking, like your longtime friend.
Yep. Oh god. This is gorgeous. This is beautiful.
I learned the horrors of war, that there is one good way to hug.
When Draws is in Barry's arms, Barry says,
it's not like she's gone. She's just not here right now. She'll come back. I guess it's kind of like being turned back on. Like, if you were turned off and then turned on.
No.
Her soul. Souls. They're inside of us, and then when we die, they go into other things.
You mean like how before I was activated, all of my experiences were like all of the others. I awoke with the same knowledge, but none of the others like me have been on this adventure with you or done things in the world. You mean like the accumulation of the specific experiences that your mother had that made her different from the other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she'll be back somewhere, something. She just won't be my mom anymore. She'll be something else.
Like the world doing repairs on just the information in the storage medium? And loading it to something else?
Kind of. I'm not sure.
Okay. I'm sorry, I do not fully understand, but I'm glad to hear that that she will be back and you will see her as a part of this world again, one way or another.
Yeah. Thank you, Draws.
Of course.
And then Barry puts Draws down and gives him a little pat on the head.
Aww.
Yeah, Barry puts Draws back down, and he's definitely he's feeling better. He didn't really know that he could kind of count on Draws like that. And because he doesn't know exactly what Draws is or how Draws works.
Don't worry, Draws doesn't always either.
I think Barry understands that Draws isn't alive like he is, or like how Isham or Garlet are, but I don't think
calling Isham alive is generous also.
but I think he understands that. I think given the way that Furbolg society is, he believes that there's got to be something like keeping Draws alive in some way. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say that Barry believes that Draws has some sort of soul.
Okay. Yeah, just side note, if there's an excuse to get into that conversation in the future of these episodes, please do, because Draws has lots of thoughts too.
I feel like Draws in many ways is an extension of Charlie.
Oh yeah, no, I just made me. Like I just did a really stiff version of how I would comfort someone in real life.
It was very good. I remind me to get a hug from you if I'm feeling down.
Okay.
Running console.exe.
A virtual hug coming my way. Barry kind of just goes to like where his bedroll would be, because his whole family kind of slept together near one another. Because while this is like communal living and like communal like raising of children, there's still like family connections that are closer as part of the like the larger connected family. Mm-hmm. Those that give birth to you, you're closest to, but everyone's basically your aunt and uncle, and your cousin, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I think
nice.
he's just sort of, why would he ever leave that? It's because he got bored.
Yeah,
that's why. Because he's just being a
rambunctious, fucking
early adult.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You look, you were picking berries. You were doing that for a while, and you just needed to be able to switch. Right, switch. You just needed to switch jobs much faster than people expect in your society, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, and then drunken, knocked out Isham and Merlagon was probably dumped in the forest, and I had to go, and that's where I found him. Yeah. And brought him into the village, and we nursed him back to health, and we left.
New friend.
we left together.
New friend.
But
it's a very strong like movie where, what's that movie where someone from the fairy tale world gets dumped in like New York?
Oh yeah, fucking
Enchanted. I think.
Yeah, very strong that kind of energy where it's just like the first person you meet outside of the place you were born is like just a drunken twat who's like actually got a heart of gold.
Kind of a shit show, yeah.
Well, it's starting to sound like he isn't got that heart of gold.
Doesn't know how to express it, but it's in there underneath all that crusty layers. I assume. I hope.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll find out. Why don't we explore that here at the bedroll where
yes.
Barry's kind of excused himself from the rest of you. I don't know what you would all be doing in a village that is like everyone is mourning. I think everyone is sad. I don't know if there's anyone to talk to. Food to be eaten.
Draws is wandering around looking for some sort of more efficient container for the crab than just this like falling apart basket, which is starting to get threadbare.
Snipped at from within.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yes, exactly. So I'm just going around like lifting up like pots and baskets and things, just looking for lids and everything else.
Full disclosure to everyone who is listening, Artemis had to step away really quick. We're not doing anything that's like that would, I think, break Artemis's rules. Just do a investigation check, I guess.
Investigation. Okay. Both of us? Or...
Are we just doing some freeform D&D now? Some fucking
I think so.
non-hierarchical D&D? I love
Hell
it.
yeah.
I'm enjoying this.
Anarchist D&D.
I'm enjoying this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anarcho D&D. I'm an anarcho-geigist.
Gygaxist, yeah.
Okay, I'm rolling a d20. Oh, I got a 2. I'm doing really bad at this pot search.
I'm gonna say that you do, like, this is a village.
Do I get a plus?
Yeah, it's your intelligence.
Open my character again.
My investigation's under intelligence. Yeah, it's whatever your intelligence is.
Intelligence. It's +3, so I got a 5.
Okay,
You're
so
doing amazing, Sweaty.
you just find a very plain looking. I'm assuming you just find a very plain looking basket. Small, nothing particularly good about it. It's just a plain little basket, amongst many others that are also empty.
Okay, I start by just placing the entire crab container unopened inside of that and continue looking around for something to at least line this basket with that it can't snip through.
Facility.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll do that for a minute. What about Isham?
That's a good question. I think, what is there around for him to do? That's because he's not particularly good at helping anyone grieve. So that's kind of. Mm-hmm. I think he's self-aware enough to know that too, right?
I think he's at least emotionally intelligent.
Self-aware
enough
does
to be
not
like,
begin to describe
that he sucks.
If you didn't know it already, you do now.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, my friend got angry at me when I tried to console him.
Oh.
I didn't do this good.
Yeah, I kind of stepped in it. But at least I guess he knows well enough not to try to double down.
Uh-huh.
So I think, literally he's like walking down a fucking path with his hands in his pockets, kicking a rock down the road. Like, it's that level of, guess I'll just hang out. Because I'm a bummer and I know it.
Mm-hmm. And we know that we know that Garlet is attempting to calm Patrinx and Farin.
Mm-hmm.
So that we'll leave that to Artemis. I you know what? Barry gets up and he wipes the tears from his eyes. I think he understands that he's coming to grips with the idea of, like, revenge.
Mm-hmm.
But how that might not necessarily make him happy. But he also doesn't want more bad things to happen. And he's confused why, like, something bad like this happened at all.
Yeah.
He's not a very bright person.
You're not someone who seeks revenge. You're someone who seeks, I don't know, knowledge or discovery. You left your whole town for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
he is but simple farming boy.
Uh-huh. So I think he goes to try and find draws wherever they might be. I assume searching for cloth.
I'm searching for cloth.
Liner.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Some sort of woven material.
I'm currently searching for cloth and some sort of food a crab might be okay with.
Oh, are you finding crab food? Is that what I've walked away and you've been finding crab food?
Yeah, we got back to the village. We split up for a second, and Yeah, I've wandered around. I found a better basket, but I need something to line it with and some crab food or something. Like this
We're
crab
making
might
sure
still be.
Tamagotchi stays fed. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that in the course you've lost one beloved person and you've replaced them with a crab.
You know, when God closes a mother, he opens a crab. That's what they say.
What? How does God close a mother?
Death
with a bow and arrow. I remember if I remember correctly.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, you shot her
true.
to death.
death is
Well,
death is just a complex universal carcinization.
Yeah.
Those words were too big for me.
Might I
Let me check the firearms dictionary to see if that's in there.
might I suggest, because I had a pet hermit crab as a child. They eat popcorn.
Do they?
And you know what? I will give you a discount on any popcorn you get because it is the day or so after a festival. Guaranteed, there has to be some popcorn that not everybody
cheap
ate,
ass
especially
stale popcorn. Yeah,
No,
Yeah,
it is.
you know-
It is supposed to be stale popcorn, by the way. That crabs
of
eat.
course.
crabs like stale popcorn because it reminds them of eating shell material.
There you go.
As you're scrambling around looking for cloth and a variety of other materials, you see everybody's good friend, entrepreneur Pimbleton, from earlier in the festival. Very nonchalantly, maybe one might even say like non-suspiciously, pushing a cart full of all of the various things he brought with him to the carnival. And one of the things you notice is a big bucket of popcorn that he wasn't able to sell.
How convenient.
You gonna buy it from him? You gonna beat him over the head? I mean, you got options.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can just take this popcorn. Once Isham crests the hill and returns back to this to see, oh hey, popcorn.
Hey, Isham, how you doing? Hey, now about that money you owe me.
Yeah. I'll figure something out.
No need. You hear a voice from behind you. Forin and Patrinx come behind you, and they take some bags of gold, and it's basically handed over to him. And Patrinx says, "Yeah, that should about cover it. You know, we also are just gonna exit our contracts now. This place kind of blows now."
Oh, well, that's incredibly generous. Great, good.
Nah, you have to take us with you now.
Yeah, alright. Watch your warm bodies. You know, we have been shot at enough times that,
Well, we're actually looking for opportunities like that. It's a tough market for mercenaries these days.
Do we have to pay them?
I'm sorry, too. Are you implying that you're intending to get shot at? That doesn't sound like good mercenary work. I'm no expert. I mean...
Well, mercenaries, they serve a lot of purpose. Do you want the fucking popcorn or what?
Yeah, I want the fucking popcorn.
Yeah, he just happens to get some popcorn, I think, and crams it into his face.
Cool.
It's not in a bag or anything. It just in one big paw. There's a bunch of popcorn, and
now it's in you.
He's kind of, he's kind of picking it off. I'm sure Draws can get some for the crab.
Is that acceptable, or should I do my plan to get the popcorn?
Oh, what's your plan? No. There's more popcorn if you want to execute a plan here.
Popcorn plan.
I just didn't realize it would be easy to get. Like, this guy seems kind of like a capitalist scumbag.
Well, I assume Isham got popcorn. I assume because that's a free pay your debts, you get a bag of popcorn thing. It's like
it's like how Costco.
Okay, so
I'm how libraries.
Okay, so I'm going to begin by Draws has walked up behind the both of them, and as soon as Isham goes for popcorn, Draws is also going to go extend their arm and go in for a swipe.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah, we're just all grabbing
roll
popcorn now.
roll a sleight of hand.
Okay. Roll. Ooh, what's sleight of hand? Ooh, that's
agility, I think?
dexterity. That's a 1.
So, you full force lunge out for this popcorn, but you've forgotten that you're carrying an entire basket behind you with a crab in it. And that crab is surprisingly chubby, having just until recently been a lawyer. So you sort of are very front heavy now, and you fall forward flat on your robotic monitor of a face.
Oh.
Hey, wise guy, what's the big deal?
I thought the popcorn was available. I would like the popcorn.
Hey, I mean, is it? It's available, but you got the coins?
No. Who puts heated air into corn and then suggests it has a marked up price? That's absurd.
Most people who sell popcorn, in fact, you'll find. It's a pretty big part of the popcorn economy is that popping the corn adds value. I mean, I mean, you gotta put in corn to make corn.
Oh my god.
I hoist myself back up, adjust the crab basket around to the side of me, and just begin walking away, muttering, "I have
no use for food."
But then why'd you try to buy it then?
I just continue walking and do not look at this fool.
Garlet, in this time, is going to rejoin you. I'm just going to have that on the record. He's not going to do anything of value.
Oh, okay. Well, great. So Garlet walks up with me. We are walking, and Draws goes to a tree a little distance away. Looks to Garlet and says,
I'm going to need you to do me a favor. I'm going to need you to have a conversation with me.
Excuse me? What?
I'm very interested to know about that one particular wooden-handled pistol that you found at the fair and the various technical specifications of it. I'm very interested to know the things that you know about such a fascinating weapon.
Oh, well, I'm happy you ask. Let me just pop open the encyclopedia Gunpowder and I'll enlighten you.
I am currently as Garlet begins to talk, I'm glancing over toward the cart, waiting for Pimpleton to be on the move again.
Okay, so about halfway through the 17th paragraph, talking about wing bolt grips, you see Pimpleton start to sort of like pack up his cart and start to move.
Got some
All
squeaky ass wheels, yeah.
As the cart begins to move, I just before it gets more than 10 feet away, I'm going to cast my animate trinket spell on one of the smaller buckets of popcorn. At which point it sprouts arms and legs, and I command it to jump off the cart.
That's cool as fuck. I love that. It's gonna have to make a stealth check. Could you roll a d20 for me?
A d20.
Or just roll a stealth check, yeah.
Okay, stealth check. What is stealth? Ooh, okay. I rolled a 15, but I have to... stealth. What is that one? Oh, plus 0, 15.
I'm gonna give you advantage because no one would expect their popcorn to sprout legs.
To literally,
Okay.
yeah, grow legs and
Literally 0 people would expect that to happen.
Okay. 16.
Yeah, no, you're
This is the best stealth rolls I've ever done.
You turn to your little chicken-legged popcorn as it's headed your way, and you're like, shh. And it sprouts a little hand, and it goes, shh. And for a moment, you think Pebbleton's gonna catch it, but then it like freezes. And the moron is none the wiser. The bucket comes over to you. Its legs disappear. You now are the proud owner of some stale popcorn.
That was so worth
Congratulations.
Barry finally meets up with Draws and Garlet and sees the popcorn, and his eyes kind of light up.
I quickly pick it up and hold it to myself and say,
You are welcome to as much of this as you like after I feed the crab.
Wait, you have a crab?
Yes.
I set the basket down on the ground. I take the lid off and I reach inside, where I hear the crab continuing to snip away at the inner clamshell basket. I undo the clamshell and I give the crab an angry stare mid-snip.
You're gonna... If you want, you could roll... I'd have you roll animal handling. You could put little rubber bands around its claws.
Oh no, that's so cute.
Oh,
You could
okay.
effectively neuter this crab.
I'll roll an animal handling. That's a very smart idea. All right, 12 plus animal handling plus 1, 13.
Okay. I'm gonna have it roll against you.
Okay.
Animal
This would be like
unhandling.
dexterity or something?
Check real quick.
Yeah. Oh, I believe that's human handling.
Yeah.
All animals.
Or android handling.
It rolled
Yes.
a 16. So
Jesus.
here's what happens. You pull a set of restraining little rubber bands out from your chest cavity where you keep all your gimmicks and gadgets.
All my goo-gaws.
Yeah, well, can you say that? It's a little fucked up. Yeah, you get the little rubber bands, and as you go, the crab is good, like, and you manage to get one little rubber band like around its claw, just about. But as you go for the second one, it like clacks your hand. And as you like lurch back, not out of pain because you're a robot, but out of like
Probably really hurt if you had fingers.
Hey, I use that for fine motor dexterity.
it cuts the rubber band. Yes, so you unfortunately are not able to restrict the clicky.
I look down at the crab and say,
Alright, fine. We're going to do this on the honor system. We're going to need more information from you, I'm quite sure.
and I scoop out a sizable handful of the popcorn, because I do not want to have to open this up and refill it anytime soon. And I dump a bunch of stale popcorn in there around the crab.
Oh. Smart. Bribery. I like it. No, you're speaking the language the lawyer will understand, even as a crab. lawyer crab, attorney at claw.
Oh my fucking god, shut up. That is the worst.
That's so good.
Attorney at claw.
What? Do you think the crab form was a coincidence? I planned it. I planned all of this.
That is heinous. God.
I dump out all of the popcorn in the bucket except for about one more handful at the bottom, and I close it into my chest, and I give the leftover popcorn in my hand that I have to Barry.
Thanks, Draws.
Barry kind of glances around, looking for Isham, but kind of shakes his head. I think he's still a little mad. And then he turns to Draws.
You said that you found out who did all this. Who was it? And where do we go?
First, I will provide some context. That crab is actually a lawyer. Is one of the lawyers that we found when you left me as a basket. This crab has failed its mission and was turned into a crab as punishment. And I believe it was meant to happen to others too. The lawyers were actually assassins. Well, this crab knows law. I assume they are lawyer assassins. But they are assassins. I have learned that they are called the Rumpelstiltskins. But, frankly, that does not check with any of my records, and I think it is horse shit. Nonetheless, that may be something we can use. They intended to kill Fulgrin, the dwarf that we met on the first day together.
The one with the Engen?
Yes. They were trying to stop the transport of the Engen, I believe.
Do you know why?
But, go ahead. Not quite. The crab told me that the Shikamian Empire and the Binian theocracy have had tensions rising for some time, and these assassins were hired to raise these tensions. Whoever hired them has an interest in these two empires fighting once again. And I've learned that it was someone in the Samianese diarchy. Unfortunately, the one person who has all the details about the job is now dead with all the others.
I think I did that.
We all killed someone yesterday. It's understandable.
I don't usually remember after going in a rage, but I kind of remember a lot from yesterday.
Barry's starting to look really, upset again.
Aw.
But then he shakes it off.
So, where do we go to Sima? I don't remember.
The diarchy, yes.
I don't know what any of these places are. You know a lot more than me, but do you know how to get there?
Well, I have been programmed with detailed maps of the regions, although I think they're significantly out of date. But as best as I can analyze, we need to travel a long distance to the northwest, and we should enter the Samianese diarchy. They are the northernmost region above the Binian theocracy of the continent, and it will be quite a long trek, but however we get there, I think that might be where we need to go.
Isham kind of sidles up, still snacking on popcorn, kernel by kernel, and looking kind of displeased. Not displeased, just nonplussed with the whole thing, and it's
Well, yeah. Let's go. We got nothing else going on around here.
Yeah, I'd say I'm with you. I've come this far. I've done this much. I might as well join you. Garlet basically sort of puts his hand in, not knowing that you're not doing a huddle. And then you hear from the side, "Yeah, we're in." You turn and you see Patrinx and Farin, and they're just sort of seems like y'all need help. We'll help you. They're not super they're not super engaged or unengaged with the whole thing.
Barry nods in agreement.
Okay, but before we go, last time I didn't say goodbye. I should do that this time.
He goes to his dad.
Okay, Dad, I'm gonna go with them. I know I probably should stay in case something happens, but it doesn't feel right to stay. I'm not looking to get back at who did this. I just don't want it to happen again. So I think I should help them stop it in case it does.
And Barry's father sort of puts his hand on Barry's shoulder in a reassuring but shaky way.
Son, you have always been different. You have always been willing to do more. And And just because what you do is different doesn't mean it's not valued. If what you are going to go do, if you think that it's the right thing, that it's the necessary thing, and if you think it's going to help, you absolutely should do it.
Okay, I'll be back one day. I promise.
I know. Go in peace, son.
He wipes a tear from his eyes,
Aww.
and then he goes back to his group of friends. He looks at Isham really quickly.
Isham kind of gives him like a weak smile.
He sighs really deeply, and he just he gives Isham a hug,
Aww.
and he says to Isham,
I'm sorry. I know it's not easy for you, but it just isn't easy for me either.
and then he pats him on the back, and he says,
All right, I'm ready to go.
Where to?
I guess where Draw said, right?
I know nothing of this region other than the basic geography, and I suppose if you loaded me up with various greases and oils, I could make it there, no problem, day and night, but I don't think those will assist any of you very much.
Well, it would seem then that the only answer is to gather more information. Obviously, these men were headed north. Perhaps we start north and see if we can't find anything along our way.
I agree.
For instance, there are a bunch of places in the north of the Sherkamian Empire where, mercenaries meet up to do things.
And
And if we went there, we could find passage into the diarchy.
Well, you can get passage just by going north. The diarchy's fairly open. They really like outside business. Don't I know it? But the key is to find the right man, because if you just walk in and make accusations...
Things could get dicey.
Maybe we should still find out who made these arrows.
Yes, I think this is the best course of action. The crab said that the arrows were made in the north. This mercenary camp is surely filled with people who know where to get weapons with unnecessary aesthetics.
Ah, you're now speaking my language, my dear friend.
Sure, fuck it. Let's head up there off the hunch of a crab. Great. Yeah, this little piece of shit that eats nothing but stale popcorn.
And then he kind of tosses his own stale popcorn aside after noticing, oh wait, I'm also a piece of shit who eats nothing but stale popcorn.
Draws goes over and scoops the popcorn off of the ground that was just discarded and kind of tries to sift the dirt out of it by shaking it in their hands, and then removes the bucket from their chest, puts it in, and puts it back. And goes up to Isham and says,
This will be useful. They wouldn't sell it day old if it wasn't just as good.
You know, that's a take. Sure.
Draws doesn't understand capitalism.
Our heroes, having experienced a great tragedy, embraced the sort of homeliness of speaking to others, of finding new friends, of interacting with people they might have debts to, and in all of it, they found new purpose. They have a place they need to go, and they have a thing they want to do. That they have an objective. Nothing can stop them. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much for listening. We are a community-supported podcast, the sister show to Psychic Dolphin Garage, a political comedy podcast. If you'd like to support us, please check out the Psychic Dolphin Garage Patreon to get access to bonus content. It's as low as $1 a month, but if you pledge above $1, you get a chance to have an NPC named after you and a shout-out like these fine folks. Thanks to Aaron, Alex, The Brilliant Dr. Fly, Broobs, Caleb, Cruxia, Dylan, Eli, Jack, Jorge, Lizzie, Malwin, Olive Lotion Wizard, Revan Lawn Gnome, Richard, Rufus, Samantha, Scott, Sophia, Tim, Tyler, and the Warlock Phosphorus. If you can't afford a monthly donation, we understand. Please donate to our coffee for a one-time donation, or rate us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts, as well as sharing the show with your friends or loved ones. We'd like to give a special shout out to Momo for his amazing art and Rose Azurti for their brilliant music. All relevant links are in the description. Thank you so much once again, and goodbye.